Hello YouTube, Mad Dog here. Thank you very much for joining me on this horrible wet and windy afternoon. I hope you're all surviving the strong winds that we're all experiencing in the UK at the moment. So this video, another simple trap, and this one, as the name suggests, is the tube drop trap. Dead simple, dead easy. What you'll need for this is a piece of tubing, this piece of old drain pipe, waste pipe. If you're in an environment where you can acquire bamboo with a big usable diameter, then use that. It doesn't have to be tubular, it can be square or any shape really. Dependent on the size of the quarry that you're trying to trap, I'm aiming this obviously at rats, maybe a squirrel at a push, and small mice. I'm purely for a demo this, so I'm using a piece of old waste pipe here. Something preferably that the little critter can't chew its way out of. You will also need a thin piece of cordage. You can use paracord to push, but then your holes that you need to bore, that I'll demonstrate in a minute, will need to be big enough to accept paracord, and the bait as well. I'll explain what I mean. In this case I'm using a almond as my bait, and I've simply bored a hole through that little nut there, just large enough to accept a piece of cordage. So we thread the cordage through the little almond nut, and on the other end of that cordage I've tied a small knot that's big enough to stop the almond sliding off, but the knot there is small enough to pass through a hole that I've bored approximately 2/3 ish, doesn't have to be accurate, into the tube or box section or whatever you're using. You even use an old bucket at a push, anything that you can find. So the thread and the nut must pass through that hole. So what we do is then we take, there's the nut on the end, we take the working end of the cordage and feed it through said hole. Like so, and that will then pull that through. You can see hopefully the nut on the inside, and then we pull, and the nut will then hold the tubing up. That's the basic idea of this trap. What we're then going to do is take this assembly outside and dig a hole into the ground. Just pan down here a minute. Supposing that's the ground, we're going to dig a hole pretty much an accurate size in length, a little bit wider than the tube, and allowing enough depth for the tube to sit just below or flush with the ground. So what we then will do is support the tube vertically like that, or just offset via two supporting pieces of wood, and then the general idea is the little critter will come along and eat the nut, which then will allow the string and the knot to fall through the hole in the tube, which then, with the body weight of the animal in there, will drop into the hole in the ground, capturing him. Ideally both the ends in the earth could be done with a piece of slate or tile or crushed up cans, whatever you've got to hand, so that the little fella can't burrow and chew his way out. But this is just a demo, so what I'm going to do now is set this trap up, and I'll cut to the next bit of the video with a quick demonstration outside. Mad Dog here. So I've quickly set this trap up. As you can see, I've got two pieces of supporting timber just arched across anyhow, and a vertical, and onto the centre of that I've tied the thin twine that goes down to the tube. I've dug a hole in the ground that's deep enough to bury that tube. I don't know if this is picking up, and the nut in the string is supporting it on the inside there. So the idea is the little fella will come across enter the tube, take the nut, and then the lot falls down into the hole. So obviously capturing said creature. Dead simple, dead basic, but you must allow enough hole on the tubing or whatever you're using for that little knot to pass through once the nut's been eaten off it. That's key. Once you've set the trap, obviously I'm using white tubing just for a demonstration. There's just a basic setup, nothing flash or fancy. You can then obviously add some, once it's set, some camouflage all over this thing. You know, just try and disguise it a bit. If it was a real situation, you'd camouflage it up and preferably not use white tubing. That's all there is to it really, guys and lasses. Dead simple, quite effective for catching mice and rats, squirrels if you're using bigger diameter. Dead simples, happy days. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Take care as always, and I'll see you on the next one. Mad Dog signing off. Yeah.